The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. W's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by W, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. W's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/mrtipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. W Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? It's a TIP VIP Thursday. Hanging out with you here. We're not having a show tomorrow. That's why the TIP VIP Thursday is happening right now. No Augustine, so we might not talk about soccer, although I got soccer on the docket. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We are all over the place doing what we do best. Got a few things, not a lot. Slow news day. Clayton Kershaw gets a 3,000 strikeout. This is kind of like if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, doesn't make a sound. That's kind of what this is like to me. I love baseball. I love stories like this. I remember back in the day, you would have had a cut in for a guy like Clayton Kershaw trying to reach 3,000 strikeouts. CC Sabathia, the last pitcher to reach 3,000 strikeouts. Clayton Kershaw doing it. And it just felt like, kind of the same thing that happened like in the late 2010s, the 20-teens, whatever you want to call it, whenever it would be like a no-hitter. It almost felt like nobody cared. And that's because of baseball. Like baseball's got to do a better job. Baseball's got to do better at marketing. I would have not known, had it not been for being on the National Professional Sports Show yesterday, that Clayton Kershaw was eyeing his 3,000th strikeout, which means I would have woken up today, looked at the news, and been like, oh, well, that's cool, I guess. If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, doesn't make a sound. If a pitcher throws 3,000 strikeouts and nobody cares, doesn't matter. And it really should. Like that was a benchmark. And I really feel like it's going to be a hard feat for any pitcher in the near future to get near. Let's look at who might be next on the list. We're going to go to baseballreference.com. And we're going to find where Clayton Kershaw is as he becomes the 20th player all time. The 20th player all time to get 3,000 strikeouts. In his 18th season, he's 37 years old. And the next pitcher available that might be able to do it is almost 500 strikeouts away and 36 years old. It's not going to happen. And after that, after you have Chris Sale, who's in his 15th season, 36 years old, has been broken down time and time again. The next closest one would be Garrett Cole, who's in his 12th season and 34 years old, and 800 strikeouts, 749 strikeouts away. It's more than likely not happening within the next 5 years, maybe within the next decade, unless Paul Skeens or someone like that has just a tremendous, tremendous career over the next decade. But you have to hope and pray that they don't get hurt, that nothing bad happens to them. Yu Darvish nowhere on this list. Sonny Gray, Aaron Nola, they're all in their mid-30s, still under 2,000 strikeouts. I'm trying to see where on this list someone like Paul Skeens is. Now, granted, he's probably not going to be anywhere near the top of this list because it's only a second season. Yeah, he's not even going to make the top 1,000, which is wild. I wonder if Shohei Ohtani's on this list. I'm just doing this for me. The only person that might care about something like this. But again, it's all because baseball has done nothing, absolutely nothing, to make me care about what's going on in the league. You have a pitcher yesterday who reaches a milestone that, again, in a certain period of time, we would have broken into programming for. And nobody even cared. It wasn't something that was up on SportsCenter. And I was watching SportsCenter all week. There was nothing on SportsCenter talking about Clayton Kershaw looking to get his 3,000 strikeout. That's not what we're looking for. How many times has Shohei Ohtani struck out over his career is not what I was looking for. Although he has struck out 1,000 times. Let's see if he has more pitching strikeouts. Than he does hitting strikeouts. Uh-oh. It might actually be really close. It might be closer than I thought it was. Said he had over 1,000 strikeouts as a pitcher. But I'm not seeing him here on the list of all-time pitchers. That's what happens whenever you trust the internet. Doesn't seem like the internet's giving me anything here. Nonetheless, it's all good. Clayton Kershaw getting his 3,000 strikeout. Congratulations, I guess. No one really cared. No one, I don't think, really watched it. It wasn't a huge news story. And again, that's the bigger issue is baseball. Baseball doing what baseball does. They don't market correctly. You've got a great season going on right now. The Yankees and the Blue Jays wind up being tied after the Blue Jays seemed like they were so far behind in the standings that the Yankees were going to run away with it. And baseball does absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing to promote anything else that's going on outside of the Yankees. Hell, I heard the Dodgers were being sued for DEI practices more than I heard that the Dodgers ace, former ace, was going to get 3,000 strikeouts. Congratulations once again, I guess. No one really cared. Speaking of things that no one really cares about, the LA Lakers seem to be just reaching and grasping, trying to find anything that they can. The Lakers have agreed to a contract with free agent center DeAndre Ayton. It's a 2-year deal with the Lakers. Sources told ESPN Shams Charania. Between Portland and LA, DeAndre Ayton will earn $34 million next season. That's a ton of money for a guy that's not good at all. Ayton will be 27 years old, averaged 14 points, 10 boards, and shot 56% last season. But the thing is he's always hurt. So now you have a 41-year-old geriatric LeBron James with his son, Bronney James, and a bunch of nothing surrounding that team. Tommy Cananza saying that he heard DeAndre Ayton is a locker room problem as well. That's the reason why Phoenix shipped him out. Locker room problem, not healthy, lazy. That's all the stuff that you've heard about DeAndre Ayton when it comes to the way that he plays basketball. The best ability is availability. Richie coming on saying, good morning, sir. I feel so old whenever you call me sir, so thank you. The Lakers are running out of time. They can only pay so much, and the clock's ticking to build around Luka. Like we said, they can't develop. The only thing here, the only real bright star you have if you're the LA Lakers or if you're a Lakers fan is the fact that you got Luka there. It's not even that you have LeBron there. That $52.6 million contract that LeBron signed on Monday, not going to be able to help you sign players. Not going to be something that you're going to look at. Even if you sign DeAndre Ayton, it's kind of like the Miles Turner thing. Miles Turner being signed by the Milwaukee Bucks. They went from having the 6th best chance of winning the Eastern Conference or winning the NBA Finals to having the 6th best chance of winning the NBA Finals. This does nothing, absolutely nothing for the LA Lakers. You got a warm body. Congratulations, you needed a warm body, so you got a warm body. But how warm is it? It feels like it's about to be cold with DeAndre Ayton. Look at how quick Phoenix was willing to move on from a guy that was the number 1 overall pick 7 years ago. Not that long ago. Look at how Portland, so quick to move on. We'll pay a little bit of his contract so he can just move on. We don't want this guy anymore. And the Lakers give him 2 years. But again, there's just so much money in the NBA, it feels like. I get it. DeAndre Ayton's the first player to average at least 10 points and 10 rebounds in each of his first 7 seasons since Dwight Howard did it. And that was in 2005 all the way up to 2012. But Dwight Howard was looked at as like an MVP caliber type of player. Then the league changed, right? And Dwight Howard's skill set became kind of archaic. That's what DeAndre Ayton is. He's kind of one of those old school centers. You need a guy that can shoot from the outside. DeAndre Ayton's going to be okay on the inside. He's not great defensively. He's decent offensively, averaging 14 points and 10 boards. But he's not. And this is with a Portland team that could have relied heavily on him. Extremely heavily on him. Because there was no one else. Anthony Simons. That was about it. What type of production are you going to expect out of DeAndre Ayton whenever you have Luka Doncic and LeBron James there and Bronney. You want to develop Bronney. You need to make Bronney an MVP caliber player. I'm fine with it. I love seeing the Lakers do this stuff. It sucks because I feel like basketball is better whenever the Lakers are a competitive team. But I'm happy with it. Lakers continue to do this. Continue to make your team just feel inadequate. I'm 100% go. Do it. But it just feels like the Lakers have no clue what the hell they're doing. And again, basketball is better whenever you have those rivalries with the Lakers. That you can say, oh, okay, this team is making something. People care, right? When people want to watch the LA Lakers. Whether you're a hater, whether you love the Lakers or not, you want to watch the LA Lakers. And it just feels like there's nothing there worth watching. Even having the gift horse, the golden cow of Luka Doncic there. And it feels like there's nothing for the LA Lakers to want to, like, to make you want to watch the LA Lakers. Augustine making fun of Luka's looks, saying golden cow, he looks like a cow. Then good morning, people. I'm probably going to mess up the pronunciation of this last name, but I think it's Jota. Or Diego Jota. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not too sure who he is, but I did see on my ESPN app whenever I woke up this morning that Liverpool and Portugal forward Diego Jota, whatever his last name is, and his brother Andre Silva were killed in a car crash near Zamora, Spain. Police said Thursday. The Spanish Civil Guard confirmed to the Associated Press that he and his brother were found dead after their car went off a road on an isolated stretch of highway about an hour west of Zamora. Authorities said that the car, a Lamborghini, according to the police, was in flames. Absolute tragedy. Anytime you hear about anybody being in a car accident like that, much less whenever it's a celebrity or someone like that, along with their brother, you got to feel for the family. Absolutely heartbreaking. No parent should ever have to bury their kid, and I'm saying that as a parent that did have to bury a child. No parent should ever have to go through that pain. Awkward transition time. Richie saying, we are definitely going to be force-fed. The Lakers were screwed. Oh, 100%. During the regular season, that's all. Remember, there was a beef between the NBA show on TNT Inside the NBA and the ESPN pregame show and all of ESPN's basketball coverage. Charles Barkley saying, man, you guys are so lazy. You don't know nothing about what's going on in the world of sports outside of LeBron James. Our guy B. Strilla saying, good morning, Tip. Good morning to you, B. Hope that you were having a fantastic day. Great job yesterday hosting the National Professional Sports Show. Tune in tonight for the No BS show. B. Strilla, Sonia Pearson having themselves a good old time. Richie saying, sorry for the transition. We're guys, we can handle the abrupt change in mood. 100%. I was trying to think of a transition. I just figured the only way to transition is awkwardly. Shaq and Barkley are so funny is what Augustine is saying. They are absolutely hilarious. Augustine, we're not going to have a show tomorrow, so if you want to jump on, if you have the ability to jump on right now, you can. It is a TIP VIP Thursday. I'm going to put the link up in the chat for those of you that might want to join. You can. Augustine saying he's in the office coming up with a million excuses. Just the one excuse, that's fine. we are going to be force-fed the Lakers, but that's because that's what ESPN does. LeBron James, I don't want to. I love ESPN. Obviously, I wouldn't have worked at ESPN if I didn't love ESPN. But I always hated and absolutely couldn't stand that it was all about LeBron whenever it came to NBA coverage, right? Which is why the NBA hasn't been able to develop storylines at all, because it was just LeBron did this. LeBron was the first player on a Friday afternoon to score 7 points in the first quarter before the clock hit 7:04. That was like how ESPN did a ton of its coverage for basketball back whenever I was there. Augustine, what's up, my guy? I know that you're at the office. I'm sorry for bothering you while you're at work.
Yeah, please stop bothering us, responsible people, please. Thank goodness I have my team over there working. So
I love the one guy just waving like, what the hell's going on?
yeah, that's actually, he's a quality assurance engineer. He just came back from a sourcing trip, which is amazing. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Hey, I have one take on this Laker thing.
Okay.
And I know they're the popular team, and I know they got LeBron James. I know they have, I'm sorry, Tommy, Luka. And I know they're a team that the NBA needs to do well in order for the league to do well. But LA is not an attractive spot to play right now. And that is the truth. The Lakers, I think the Clippers are more attractive at the current time than the Lakers. The Lakers, they just don't have to be good on the court. It has to be top down. That's what you expect from that organization. And top down, Tip, they're not at the top level at all. They can't draft right. They bought a holy cow literally from the Mavs. Well, they traded. Granted, he's going to be a great player and whatever. He's going to give you 35, 15 a night. But, what happened to Showtime? What happened to, this style of play that revolutionized basketball? It's no longer there. That style went to the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. That style is now going to the Spurs with Wemby and his style of play. You don't expect anything from the Lakers. You expect more from the conservative organization known as the Celtics. I'm sorry, if you're a Laker fan, I'm sorry for the next 15 years. And the last 5, but it's not going to get better unless the new ownership really steps in and goes, we need to be better. We need to actually get butts on the seats. We need to get people watching. We need to get people excited about basketball, because I know you, Tip, and I know you love basketball, but there used to be a time where you would cancel plans and go, oh, the Laker game is going to be on, and they're going to go up against the Celtics or this or that. You would cancel plans. Even your wife would understand it if you canceled plans. Now your wife is going to tell you, I don't think so, and you better vote for us in that poll. That's all I'm going to say. So pretty much that's basketball in a heartbeat right now. College basketball is way more exciting than the NBA right now.
No, one part of college basketball is way more exciting than the NBA right now. Just 1 month is more exciting than the NBA right now. The rest of it, nobody watches.
Minor fans watch, but anyway. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to see that. Just you're a glutton for punishment. Minors,
old school like Pete though, like. You see, like it's nice.
Yeah, an era of UTEP basketball which needed to take respect, and they didn't take it. And I'm going to say this, and I'm blunt about stuff. UTEP needed to be more forceful in how people respect that university in regards to the basketball program. And they're all like, "Oh, well, we're all right. We just won a championship in '66, and that's it." Not even the old school understands the difference of what '66 meant to the entire flow of basketball, not only in America, worldwide. It's sad.
Well, again, like that's, I believe, basketball in a nutshell, right? Like you were talking about how the NBA needs the Lakers to be good. The Lakers need new ownership to come in and be good. It's all about marketing, right? And granted, it was 60 years ago now. Next year is going to be 60 years since that 1966 championship where Don Haskins started 5 African-American players for the first time in a national championship game. They beat Kentucky, right? But they've done over my lifetime. And again, I'm 41 years old, zero marketing. I remember basically learning this story through Glory Road and having to do my own research on this because it was like, oh, okay, well, damn, I didn't realize that UTEP meant that much in the historical aspect of things. I think one of the things that hurt them as well was the name change of going from Texas Western to UTEP in 1967, but that was out of their control because they became a part of the UT system, right?
Yeah, yeah,
so
but
a lot of people don't realize that UTEP is Texas Western.
Yeah, but the legacy is there. Just their marketing really stinks, and because they could do so much. I mean, if people really understood, if players really understood what UTEP meant to basketball, it wouldn't matter who the coach was. They would be wanting to play down here to continue a tradition that once was, and they just didn't do it, and we hire out of pity. I mean, UTEP hires out of pity because, yeah, we had a great coach, and I always mess up the name. I always confuse him with the NBA player Mike Price. I usually say Mark Price, and it's Mike Price. The only way we got that sort of coach is because he used the wrong credit card at the titty bar. So there's no pull to UTEP, but there could be. Just like there's no pull at the Lakers right now. There's no pull with some franchises that you would imagine that people would be lining up to play for and just say, I want to play for you guys. And right now they're going, thanks. It's embarrassing. It is,
and especially for the Lakers, right? Like you expect more out of the Lakers. Like maybe this new ownership is going to go in after they spent $10 billion. You got basically the same owner of the Dodgers going out buying the Lakers now, right? And we've seen he's not afraid to spend money. Look at what they're spending on Shohei Ohtani. But that's a conglomerate, right? Like it's a whole group of people. And baseball's TV deal is much more lucrative than basketball's TV deal, despite the fact that we see these huge contracts in the NBA right now. I would have thought, though, that LeBron would have said, okay, I'll take a pay cut. I'll do what James Harden did. I'll take a little bit of a pay cut to build a championship contending team around me. James Harden takes that pay cut. They're able to get Brook Lopez. They can have Brook Lopez and Zubats on the floor at the same time. You got 2 dudes that are 7 feet tall. One's the defensive player of the year. The other one is a dude that can shoot threes as a stretch 4. It's going to be just an amazing lineup for the LA Clippers.
Yeah, and more importantly, that's just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
I feel like Augustine's been waiting this entire time just to throw it to Just the Tip. That is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. I got stepped on all day yesterday trying to talk about myhappynuts.com while I was on the National Professional Sports Show. It's a real product. It takes care of yourself from your pits to your tip. You're taken care of. You're feeling fresh. You're smelling good. That's the best way that you can possibly be. Go to www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. Wow. Our guy Ben Bistril saying that Jack Nicklaus has not been to a Lakers game since 2021 with a brief appearance at a 2023 playoff game, which explains why the Lakers are dipping. I don't think that explains why the Lakers are dipping. I think that explains that the Lakers are dipping. Whenever the most hardcore fan, and granted, he's been there for 40, 50 years almost of going to all these Laker games, he's seen the best of the best when it comes to the LA Lakers. Maybe he's 9,000 years old and just doesn't want to go to the games. But if I was old and retired and had nothing to do, I'd be courtside.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. It's like Spike Lee finally making an appearance in New York as well, which, yeah, granted, these artists go and support and all this, but, how can you support that?
I didn't realize that Jack Nicklaus has been like at Lakers games since 1970. I thought it was like, I don't know much about his acting career. I know he played the Joker. I know he's been in a whole bunch of movies, but like, I didn't know, like, is his acting career that old? Like all the way back to the 70s?
Oh yeah.
1970?
I recommend The Shining.
I do need to watch that. I've never seen that movie. So I do need to watch that movie.
That's a good movie. That is
a horror movie, right?
Yeah, but it's more of a suspense thriller kind of movie. But yeah, good old Jack has been around for, even if in his old movies he looked old to me. So that's that's saying a lot. When his 1970s and 80s movies, he looked old. And
I saw a commercial the other day. I can't remember what medication it is, but it's got Morgan Freeman in it. And I remember thinking to myself, Morgan Freeman found like the perfect key to aging, which is look old whenever you're young, because he looks the same way that he did so long ago. But now, like, you can hear it in his voice, like he's starting to sound old. And like, whenever you reach that age where, you go from the soft, sultry voice of Morgan Freeman, whenever he was talking about Andy Dufresne and everybody like that, to, well, in my day.
Hey, that was good. That was pretty good. Can you do a James Earl Jones though?
I've got to like get I know that it's a little more deep like this, but I've got to like find a line that he says. Like, I know the one is going to be like, Luke, I am your father, but it's like, I need more. Like, you got to be able to say more. I do want to see A Few Good Men. I've never seen A Few Good Men. I think
that's the one with Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I think one of the few movies of Jack Nicklaus that I've seen was The Departed, which was a great movie.
And it's that movie, The Departed, is probably one of the, and everybody says The Sopranos or what's that other movie they say it's a great 3-part movie where it's Al Pacino and stuff like that. Forgot the name, but no, that movie's better.
The Godfather or like Goodfellas or something like that.
The Godfather, yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, I need to find AI that can do that for Jack Nicklaus, where he's like, you can't handle the tip.
or would it be, you can't handle my tip?
That would be great. I need to find AI to do that. So I know what I'm going to be working on this afternoon.
Wait. You said working. What?
It takes work, man.
Yeah, just like it takes work to be on the basketball court. I mean, getting back to, what does the NBA have to do to get viewership up? That's the key right there.
They have to make us care.
And barring from a Lakers Celtics series, which is always going to be people are going to watch because of the history and all that. But what can the NBA do to liven up the NBA? Because it's boring. It's the players are so there's no personality in them. There's nothing, and they're all friends, which is something that was not a common thing back in the day. For example, Jordan still hates Isaiah. To this day, Jordan still hates Lane Beer. We know the NFL is king in the United States. Football is the real king. Football.
Well, I also think like the person you're talking about there is a sociopath, right? Like Michael Jordan made up stories about people talking crap about him, so that way he can like go out and kill their career. Like Michael Jordan is a different type of hater, right? Like there's a part of me after watching that documentary that thinks that like Jordan told Isaiah Thomas, "I'm not going to shake your hand," and Isaiah Thomas is like, "Okay, cool, I'm not going to shake your hand," and then they go walk away, and now all of a sudden Jordan's like, "Oh, he didn't shake my hand, that son of a bitch, I can't believe him, and I'm going to hold it against him for the remainder of time." Like that's just like Michael Jordan being a sociopath. That's what I think that is. But I agree with you, like there was a lot of hate on the basketball court. Charles Oakley and Michael Jordan, they had like a lot of rivalry whenever Oakley was with the New York Knicks, but they were still friends and they're still best friends, right? Like you can be friends off the court. I don't want to see it on the court. I don't want to see, like, I was thinking about this with the championship game that just happened between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? You lose in game 7 because your star player tore his Achilles. I don't know if I'd be able to shake their hand after losing. You know what I mean? Like, but that's me. I was also born on Jordan's birthday, so maybe some of that sociopath is also inside of me, right? Like, I just, like, I wouldn't be able to be so cordial with someone after losing a championship like that. I would be devastated, dude. I would be, like, hitting the gym. I'd be doing all kinds of stuff. Bistro saying that Zeke was an a-hole, though, just like Jordan. So maybe they were just two D-bags banging up against each other is what it feels like with Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
No, I thought he meant Zeke Elliott. I was going, what?
I always thought that was weird, that Isaiah Thomas's nickname was Zeke. I wonder if like his middle name is Ezekiel or something like that. Now I got to look this up.
No, man. Use the computer. You should have like a theme song for this, like the Jeopardy song or something.
His Isaiah Lord Thomas III. Where the hell did Zeke come from?
Wait, where
Lord
of the Rings?
Yeah, like it. Yeah, not where I would have gone with Lord, but I respect you for it.
I can picture Isaiah Thomas going, "My precious," when he lost it to the Bulls. Where's my precious?
He was chasing Jordan for all those rings for so long.
Yeah. But honestly, what can the league do to make it better? Because you got players that give news conferences crying. You got players that can't take questions from can't take soft questions. They're like, what are you going to do to get better? Oh, I'm just going to go to the gym. No, I mean, answer the question. You got players that there's no personality in the NBA. There's no team is known for, let's say, Golden State is at least known for or better yet, Steph Curry is known for the three. It's not like it's an organizational thing. The Detroit was known as the Bad Boys, but that stopped. Should the NBA or the teams continue to draft players that fit their moniker. What I mean by that is, the Lakers. The Lakers. They should understand they're more than a team. They're Showtime. So you draft quick, fast, whatever you do. You don't get fatty Luca on there. You don't slow down the game. The Celtics might draft Luca because they're more of half. They used to be more of a half court kind of like stuff like that. What do other teams stand for? For example, if Seattle existed, they would need to get these players like Detlef and not Detlef, like I forgot his name. Sean Kemp and players like that. Where's the personality in each and every single team?
Well, I think it goes beyond that, right? Like you got to remember, what was it, the early 2000s, whenever David Stern put in like the dress code policy of how you're supposed to dress before you go to a game and stuff like that. And you had a ton of players that had a ton of personality, right? Like Allen Iverson and like all these guys. And they were coached at a young age, this new generation, that you can't act that way or you shouldn't act that way. And they're given media training of don't say anything ever because you don't want it to be used against you later on and all this stuff, right? Like the NBA became a monster that consumed itself because of all the rules that they wanted to put in to try to placate to, how can I say this? An old group of white guys, basically, because we don't want the hip hop basketball stuff. Well, look at who your demographic is. Look at who loves basketball. Look at who does this stuff and that. The loud group of people that are complaining don't care about the effing sport. Like let's just be honest. They care about optics. That's all they want, is to sit there and be a loud voice that wants to dissent from what everyone else wants, right? And that's kind of like what I was going to go to here when it comes to the NBA. I don't think the NBA has a personality problem. Whenever you look at guys like Victor Wembanyama, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, like there's great stories that are out there that surround a lot of these players. Even like Nikola Jokic, right? Like if this was the 1990s, we wouldn't care that he loves horses. We'd be like, that's so cool that he has a hobby outside of the NBA and he can still be this dominant despite having that hobby, even though he's a big, fat, out of shape guy. I think what a lot of it has to do with is that you have a vocal minority of people who don't care about the game, that are xenophobic, that are old, that want certain things to be their way. And I think that that's what helps drive the narrative, right? Like we can talk about this with a whole bunch of different things. You attack a small population of things. You create a tiny little problem and then you get it fixed and you're like, look at me. I fixed the problem. I punched a hole in the wall and I covered it up with a picture. Look at me. I'm a genius. Like that's the type of world that we're living in right now. And I think that the NBA is placating to those people as opposed to placating your audience, right? You talk about knowing your audience. Look at what's happening in LA right now with the Dodgers being sued by the federal government for violating or for having DEI hiring practices because the Dodgers want to hire Latinos and women. Well, why the hell wouldn't you hire Latinos in Los Angeles? Like of all the places, why wouldn't you? You have to know what your audience is. You have to know what your demographic is. For the NBA, the demographic is going to be young people of color. So why not promote young people of color? And now it's a more global audience. Why not promote how freakishly athletic Victor Wembanyama is? Why not like how crazy athletic Giannis Antetokounmpo is? Instead, what we're getting is the same storyline we've gotten for 22 years now, 23 years now. LeBron James is the king of basketball. No, he's not. Like he's great, but he's no longer the dude that drives the league. No one's tuning into a game because of LeBron James, right? Like you want to see how freakishly weird Victor Wembanyama looks with a basketball and seeing a dude that's 7'7" shoot from half court like it's absolutely nothing. Like you want that spectacle, but the NBA just doesn't bring it up.
Yeah, they don't get it, and that's why. And I'm sorry, Tommy. And that's why the Premier League is the premier league in the world. They have people from all over the world and they market them in each and every single country. If if when Reina was playing in England, you would see the commercials here on TNT and stuff like that saying, "Watch one of your own, Reina, in this," or when Ronaldo was playing in Italy, you would see those commercials that would pull those people. And I've got friends. I'm like you, Tip. I got friends all over the place, and nobody has ever told me about a commercial that it's reaching out to them. Mexico has some commercials when when there's a Mexican playing in a league overseas, you see commercials, and you see ESPN Mexico focus on that team. The NBA doesn't even do that. Do you think the NBA and NFL, and I'll go ahead and, for Tommy's sake, go NFL. I know and the right word isn't racist, but are they more localized to local people? Because there have been some players from Canada that have been really good between the trenches. So
I don't see a purple thing, dude. Like, maybe it's on YouTube. I can't see a purple thing. But if it does connote that you're number one to us, Tommy.
Well, number one is soccer. Number two is Tommy. But do they have these glasses that won't let them see otherwise? Because the NFL tries to put the games in England, but when they send the London Jaguars over there, it gets embarrassing because it's not a real show.
Well, so this is the thing that I would like push back against that with, right? Is I don't think the NFL cares about having the British audience or like the European audience go to their games. Most of the people that go to these games are Americans that are traveling. It's showing that it's kind of like with the Dallas Cowboys, right? You can go to any stadium that the Dallas Cowboys are playing in, and there's going to be a huge section of Dallas Cowboys fans there. The NFL learned that the NFL fan will go, right? Like whenever I went to Mexico City, there was a small group of native Mexico Cityites, whatever they're called. I don't know what the name of them would be, but natives of Mexico City that went to the game. And a lot of it was people from Arizona, a lot of people from Denver, a lot of people from all over the country that just wanted to go to the spectacle of, I want to go to Mexico City. Now I have a reason to go to Mexico City. I can watch this game. I can have all this fun, do this and that, right? They found out that NFL fans will follow their team no matter where their team goes. And that's obvious because there were a ton of NFL fans that went to Brazil, right? Like the other hemisphere of the world. They're going to Europe. They're going to Madrid. They're going to Berlin. They're going to all these places because all it is now I have a reason to go to these places because I want to support my NFL team. They don't care about the local audience there. They care that people are traveling to go see the NFL. You won't get that out of the NBA. And I think it's because the NFL has one audience, just one audience that they have to placate to, and that's Americans. The NBA has a global audience that they have to try to satiate. Whether it's like the NBA is huge in China, right? So like whenever you have a great Chinese player here, the ratings in the NBA in China are enormous. They're astronomical. Now you have such a global market and such a global area that you reach to that you can't just placate to one audience. And the NBA is having a really hard time being able to adjust with that. Major League Baseball does a great job because they embrace their fans from a bunch of different cultures, right? Like whether it's South American, whether it's Caribbean, whether it's Japanese, whatever. And those countries that love baseball, Major League Baseball does a great job.
But the thing is, you said something real key right there, Tip, and excuse me for interrupting like I usually do. But those countries understand that playing in the MLB is the king of the top league. Their leagues are feeder leagues, and they understand that completely. You know, yeah, I want to go number 2. Sorry, Tommy. But you know, Tokyo or Japan understands that its league is not the best league in the world. I mean, they say it because they have to say it, but they understand their players want to go where the best play. That is in, right here in the United States. Dominican Republic, the same. And all these places that play baseball, they want to come to the U.S. Basketball, the same. Football, the same. Almost every sport is the same. They want to come and play where the best play. But here's the thing, and you said it right now, that basketball is a world sport. Yes, it is a world sport, and the world's getting awfully close. And the thing is, you got competitions in Europe that the champion of every country meets the champion of other countries. It's called, like in soccer, it's called the Champions League. And that makes people better. And that's why, they're gaining a lot. That's why the best player in the NBA is from Croatia. Or where's Luka from? I mean,
Serbia.
Not Jokic. He's Serbian. From Vladivostok kind of town. So anyway, Tip, I got to get ready for a meeting. I have responsibilities. I'm not just a go happy guy. I have to, get some stuff in. But I just want to leave everybody with this thought on the greatest American weekend we have in the year. Is it the best product we can put out there? Is football, basketball, soccer, hockey, is it doing the job to attract the right audience for the right reasons? Not just because there's a home player or something like that, but because it's the best. And if not, how do we get to be the best? And people, I left you with something for the weekend. Go do your homework. Tip. I'm out.
Augustine, I appreciate you, brother. Have yourself a great day, my guy. Go enjoy work. Look at Augustine having responsibilities. Luka Slovenian, yes. But Augustine poses a great question there, right? Like, are the leagues doing their best? I think hockey's doing a great job. The NFL obviously doing a great job. Tommy, I wanted to push back on this where you said that the NFL doesn't have that problem. I think the NFL doesn't have to worry about some of the stuff that the NBA has to worry about, right? And the thing is I can tell you Ladd McConkey right now, and we were talking about Ladd McConkey yesterday, and you have no idea what Ladd McConkey looks like. You can tell by the name he's probably a white guy. He's probably going to be little because he's a white wide receiver, and we always think of white wide receivers as Danny Amendola, Cole Beasley, and Julian Edelman types. But you would have no idea what Ladd McConkey looks like, right? Like the NFL does a great job of marketing the name, the brand of the team more than it does the individual, where the NBA, I believe, for a long time was trying to market the individual over the team itself, right? Which was easy for the NBA to do because you had so much player movement. I think that the short-term contracts, a lot of the player movement, the stars moving around here and there, that's what hurts the NBA. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to be able to market whatever it is that you're given. And over the last 15 years, we've seen the NBA do a horrible job of marketing, right? Like, you can look at some of the players that were just signed to long-term deals and be like, who the F is that guy? I know most of these people. I know how to pronounce Sandro Mamukelashvili because I care that much about basketball. I really love basketball. I'm a nerd that knows what that stuff is. But most people don't. And I think that that's where the NBA, that's where baseball are having themselves a little bit of an issue. Baseball seems to be coming out of it. I think the biggest issue with baseball is that the season's too long. I don't think you can say that about the NBA. 162 games as opposed to 82 games is wild. And I think that that's the issue with baseball. But you have great stories, great teams in baseball, right? Like you can talk about the Detroit Tigers. If you care about baseball, you know Detroit has the best record in Major League Baseball right now. Then you have the Dodgers, who are like the antithesis of what the Tigers are, a team that was bought as opposed to a team that was being built. But it seems like they're going to go head-to-head. Then you have the Yankees that are there. You have the storyline surrounding the crazy stuff going on in Boston with the Red Sox. You have so much that's out there. The Toronto Blue Jays, a team that was written off, now has an opportunity of tying, or they actually did tie the New York Yankees in the division right now as we get closer and closer to the MLB All-Star break. It's just that baseball lasts so long, and it's not as exciting for most people as some of the other sports are. Basketball's super exciting. I love me some basketball, and nobody was watching the NBA Finals with me unless you were forced to, like B. Strilla was, right? Like no one really cared about that NBA Final because as much as we talk about we don't want star power, we don't want this, we don't want that, you proved, fake NBA fans, that you want star power, that you want LeBron James, that even though you complain about ESPN talking about LeBron James all the time, that's who you'd rather watch. That instead of ESPN talking about the Lakers, you want them to talk about somebody else. You had the opportunity and you didn't tune in to what was one of the best NBA finals in recent memory. It's because I just heard some weird noise. It's because there's no way that you can make everybody happy. Tommy's saying, maybe it's just me, but I know who most NFL players are. Well, at least the ones who are worth knowing, LOL. And then going on to say, fantasy football helps with player recognition too. I think that that's the main thing, right? Like fantasy football, whenever it comes to the ancillary stuff that you can do with sports, fantasy football is exponentially better at branding than fantasy basketball, fantasy hockey, fantasy this and that, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Bistro saying the Dodgers have the best record in Major League Baseball by themselves right now. 1 game over the Detroit Tigers. My bad. My apologies. The best record in the American League. A fun team to watch. If you don't know who Tarek Skubal is, you've got to go out and watch him pitch just once or twice. And that's the thing, right? Like, I like NBA 2K. I really do like NBA 2K. But I'd rather play Madden, right? But that's also like maybe it's my American myopia, right? Like maybe that's what it is I just have that myopic mindset of things where it's okay, I want to play football. And I've said it 1,000 times, and I guess I could be a part of the problem where it's I'd rather support my football team than my basketball team or my baseball team or my hockey team. Like football is king and it will always be king. I just want the NBA to do a better job at marketing the NBA. All right, everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. Remember, no show on Friday because I'm getting hammered drunk tonight, and I'm not waking up until Monday morning. I hope everyone has a safe and happy 4th of July. Hopefully you leave the weekend with all your fingers and toes. If you don't, take pictures of it because I want to call you the next JPP. Everyone have yourself a great weekend once again. And Augustine from Tommy Cananza, he's telling you, like DX said, suck it. Have a great weekend, everybody.